Hello you guys, Alexa the Alchemy here for your weekly card pull. Today's card pull is channeled for the week of January 30th through February 5th. This specific pull is designed for Sagittarians, so anyone who has predominant Sagittarius placements in their natal chart, whether that is your sun, your moon, your rising, or your north node, this reading is for you. And I just realized I was holding my hand in a very strange way, so interesting. So for those of you who have tuned in with me before, you may know that typically, or in the past at least, the way I've done these readings is I will do the entire pull for all signs in advance, and I do one card per sign. This week I felt called to do a live reading with a live pull. So for most of the signs, we've had more than a couple of cards. Oh, one already popped out. I've had more than a couple of cards for, okay, that one too. I've had more than a couple of cards. We've already got two for you guys. So a couple of messages for this week, but in general, these readings are designed to help provide with guidance, clarity, any messages that, what else wants to come out? Any messages that you may need to get through this upcoming week. Okay, wow. All right, so we've had a few cards that seem to be recurring themes. Oh, nice. Okay, we do have some recurring theme cards for this week. So my dear Sagittarians, the first card that I pulled for you guys was the card of Aquamarine. I am using the Crystal Spirits deck, by the way, so all of the cards that I'm pulling will be associated with a crystal, and it has the essential meaning of said crystal. Okay, nice, noted. So if that feels like too spiritual, just listen for the primary message. But for you guys, my dear Sagittarians, card of Aquamarine was, again, the first one that came out for you. This card has a lot to do with enhanced clarity, clarity of thinking, clarity of thought, dispersion of any confused energy that you may have. Yeah, I feel like there's a level of clarity that's going to come through for you this week. Okay, I feel like I want to kind of just maybe, okay, I'm going to take a second, excuse me. I'm going to take a second to kind of analyze what we've got here. So, okay, interesting. So, sorry. So, going back into Aquamarine, I'll start with this one and then move into the rest. There's a level of awareness of truth whenever this card comes up, especially awareness of one's truth. And there's something in the way of clarity, but I feel like a lot of that clarity is coming from a very deep place, like clarity from an intuitive perspective. I feel like for some of you, there may be narratives of other people, narratives that you have grown up with, maybe narratives that you have carried for most of your life, that you have the opportunity to release or that you are currently releasing. Maybe that's been really challenging for you guys. And so now, this upcoming week, you have a chance to really tap into a deeper level of clarity about where you stand with things. I did also pull for you guys in reverse the card of Aqua Aura Quartz, and this card has a lot to do with renewed sense of purpose, a sense of wonder, a sense of awe, kind of like a childlike perspective on life. In the reverse, though, my Sagittarians, this can imply something that maybe you have shadow with, resistance to, or has been challenging for you. So I feel like there's a level of clarity that's been kind of tough for you to access, and that lack of clarity maybe is causing you to feel a little bit purposeless, maybe a little bit unmotivated, not really sure where you want to go, what direction you want to move in, and it's funny, I feel like I'm getting a lot of similar, a lot of themes in my readings for this week, which is kind of funny. But I do feel like this, I feel like there's this level of potential that you have that is going to be amplified for you this week. And that potential, maybe the inherent gifts that you have. I did also pull for you guys the card of Jade, which has a lot to do with inherent gifts, inherent value. There's this level of this level of power that you have from deep within yourself. And it has nothing to do with your accomplishments, nothing to do with what you've done. It has a lot to do with who you are and what your capabilities are. And tapping into those and accessing those, I think, is going to give you a level of clarity and a reconnection, if you've lost sight of, a reconnection with yourself and with your knowing of like who you are and what you're here to bring to this world. I pulled for you guys the card of clear quartz as well, which has a lot to do with amplification. And I think a big message with this is that anything you're focusing on is what's going to multiply. If you're focusing on the negatives in your life, that's going to multiply. If you're focusing on the positives, that's also going to multiply. So my dear Sagittarians, if you've been focusing on life from the glass is half empty perspective, that's going to be what you're going to continue to see. I did also pull raw morganite, which has a lot to do with self-love and especially self-forgiveness. So I feel like some of you maybe have been really hard on yourself. This was upright, so this could have to do with others as well. But I feel like there's a level of forgiveness that you need to have for the situations, for yourself, for other people, anything that's caused a level of unclarity or anything that has caused a level of uncertainty. Maybe a relationship ended out of nowhere, or you're fired from a job or something in your work life where your projects are like really shifted, and it's causing this like level of confusion and maybe a disconnection from yourself, or it has caused that. And I feel like, my Sagittarians, your first request is to be able to forgive yourself and forgive these events for any uncertainty that they've brought up, because ultimately these events are here to allow you to reconnect with yourself and with your own inherent truth, with your own inherent value. And there's a level of your value that you maybe have, again, lost sight of, that you have really beautiful opportunities to reconnect with this week. And I feel like that's going to be a really beautiful opportunity for you. I did also pull for you the card of obsidian. And a lot of the primary messages I get with this card is like this level of knowing yourself. This card, obsidian, is all about like reconnecting to the self, observation, like observing yourself. Know thyself is one of the key messages with this card. So anything that's been going on in your life, that I don't know why this feels like such a sobering reading, but anything that's going on in your life that has felt really confusing and challenging and just like, what the fuck is happening here? These are ultimately like, these are opportunities that allow you to know yourself and to know your gifts and to know your worth. And I feel like this is actually a really beautiful thing. Some of you may be living in this like dark cloud, kind of a position. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I got pink sapphire in reverse. I'll get that in a sec. But I feel like a lot of you have been maybe living with this like cloud over your heads and feeling like it's been really, really tough for you to find, again, that clarity that you've been looking for. And it's been causing you to, again, feel purposeless or confused about your path and not really sure what you want to provide. And these events were not here to fuck up your life. These events were here to be a catalyst to help you reconnect with yourself and to find a deeper sense of love for yourself. Pink sapphire being pulled in reverse, any card again in reverse, has a lot to do with yourself, your relationship to yourself, how you genuinely feel about things, and maybe can present some level of shadow. But pink sapphire has a lot to do with, soothing the heart and, again, forgiveness, acceptance of oneself, acceptance of one's gifts in the world. And the card of raw morganite is like a level of like sensitivity and gentleness and compassion. So with the two pink cards, there's this really strong message for you in like being gentle with yourself and being loving with yourself and being gentle with the situation, especially too. Like everything that has happened up until recently is, again, it's been a catalyst to help you to find things that you love. Clear quartz, again, is an encouragement that the things that you focus on will amplify. So if you've been focusing on the glass is half empty, all of these challenges, blah, 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 that's what's going to continue to perpetuate. And that can be true of yourself as well. If you're focusing on like, oh, well, I'm struggling with this, therefore I feel weak, or I feel incapable or whatever. And I think for you guys, being able to focus on like, there is a sense of purpose that you have, even if that purpose is learning to love yourself despite challenges, or learning to love life despite challenges. That is a purpose in and of itself. So if you want to reconnect with your purpose and whatnot for this upcoming week, what you're here to do, what you're here to bring forward, my dear Sagittarians, I think a lot of it comes down to a level of self-love and gentleness, and love for the universe, love for these opportunities, even if they feel like they're challenging and they're tough and they can feel crippling almost at times. They are in these obstacles, these challenges, these confusions, whatever, these delays, they're in your life to help you to reestablish connection with yourself, and to I don't want to say re-deepen, but like all of these cards here have everything to do with your love of yourself, your connection to yourself, and just a level of like gentle compassion for who you are and what your gifts are, and to be able to see them. I'm feeling called to like pull up a lot of cards. Okay, interesting. Okay, so these will be the last 4. Jesus Christ. Okay, these will be the last ones that I pull for you guys, and then I will close out. But I pulled up Apache Tears, which has a lot to do with releasing grief. I used to hate this card because I used to think it meant grieving and like sadness, but it actually means releasing and letting go of that grief. So maybe there's been things that you've been holding on to, sadness that you've been holding on to, that you're ready to let go of, like these events that have been happening, these losses, these shifts, like maybe they've been feeling really hard and really burdensome, but in knowing that like they probably were in your life, designed to be in your life to bring you to a deeper sense of self-love, like that, understanding the purpose of these things that are feeling challenging, I feel like that's ultimately going to allow you to release them and to let them go. And you are in a state this week, my dear Sagittarians, where you're ready to let those things go and you're ready to tap into something more beautiful. Selenite has a lot to do with like liquid light, fluidity, being flexible. So there is a level of like allowing these events to unfold, allowing yourself to be flexible with these events as they unfold. This isn't something that's going to happen necessarily, or it hasn't happened as rapidly as maybe you've wanted. Maybe this has been a long drawn out process. Maybe this was something that happened like eons ago and you're still emotionally processing it. But petrified wood is really big on the themes of like time, timelessness, the passage of time. So your relationship to time might be a little bit skewed with this event. But ultimately, this is the final card, and this makes sense as like a big message for you guys. I pulled the card of Diamond, and this card is really about strength and beauty arising from challenges. So ultimately, at the end of the day, any challenges that you've been experiencing or are experiencing or do experience in this upcoming week, I actually think this is a really positive reading because it's allowing the things that have been really tough in your life to actually be beautiful. This is the process of alchemy. This is why I chose the name that I chose, of like the process of allowing these things that are tough and challenging and hard, and that maybe people don't talk about it, they don't post on social media, or they hide in their lives and they act like, you know, everything is great. Like, no, things are tough in your life. There have been challenges. That is normal. That is a part of life. And you're in the cycle where you're in this almost like phoenix phase where you're allowed to look at these things and bury them and say, I'm done with the pain of this. I can release, again, with Apache Tears, I'm ready to release the pain of this experience. And I'm ready to instead focus on what it's allowing me to bring in, focus on the strength that I have, focus on the beauty that it brings forward for me, so that I can move forward into my life and move into it with a sense of purpose, like a rekindled sense of purpose, and knowing that maybe, again, my purpose was just to alchemize these really tough, challenging events, to love them and forgive them. Even though they brought pain to me, they've also brought lessons. And a lot of those lessons, I feel, probably come in the form of reconnecting to yourself, reconnecting to your inherent gifts, reconnecting to the things that you actually hold within that are ultimately like where you're going to create and provide value for other people. So there was a lot here, my Sagittarians. At first I was like, where is this reading going? And then I was like, oh shit, okay. This message is actually my bread and butter, which I love. So yeah, if you feel like you are struggling with this or you need support in this process, please feel free to reach out to me. I feel like everything that all these cards that I pulled for you is like a journey that I myself have walked, and I understand the components, and yeah, this one hit me really deeply. So I hope that it resonated with you guys. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I post these readings every single week, so if you ever want future guidance, you know where to find me. And you can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at alexab.alchemy. So if you aren't already following me there, I definitely recommend it. And as noted, I do offer personal readings as well. So if you want a little bit more clarity on things, a little bit more explanation, etc., reach out and let me know. And finally, if you haven't already watched the videos for your other signs, so your sun, your north node, I can't talk, Jesus, your sun, your moon, your rising, and your north node, please make sure that you guys go ahead and do that. They may provide a little bit more clarity and guidance on anything that you may be questioning here in this reading today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So much love to you, my dear Sagittarians, and I will see you guys next week for the next reading. Have a good one.